If you've been doing stretching and mobility drills until you're blue in the face, but you're not really noticing that you're getting any more flexible, it could be that you're missing one key piece to all of your mobility drills that can make a significant impact. A piece that can create a broader, almost more internal stretch or tension change within your muscles. And that piece is breathing. In this video, I'm going to show you how breathing in a particular way can influence your mobility across your entire body, create a broader stretch or range of motion change within the muscle, and how to do it. Suppose that you're stretching your hamstrings. How do most people do that? Well, they might do something where they straighten the knee and then they move the pelvis in a certain way, or they flex the hip, so that way it tugs on both ends of the hamstring. But here's the problem. Your muscles can create selective tension within different portions of it, meaning I can have increased muscle activity on one portion of the hamstring, but maybe I have decreased muscle activity on another portion. Maybe that's the lower portion in the knee or even the middle belly. And so when I tug on a muscle from two ends, I might get those outer portions of the muscle to change, but it doesn't necessarily change the inner portions. What does? The only thing that can change the physical shapes of our body is breathing. Because when we breathe in, our bodies have to expand and get bigger to make room for the air. And that's not just at the rib cage. The abdominal wall has to expand. The pelvic floor and the pelvis has to slightly change its shape. And this has broad-ranging effects across the entire body. And then conversely, when we exhale, the body has to get smaller and tense up. That helps us get the air out. If you've ever heard to inhale during the stretch or eccentric portion of a lift and exhale during the concentric or shortening portion of the lift, this is why. Breathing in expands or stretches things. Breathing out shortens or contracts things. But it's not just quiet nasal breathing that you have to do to elicit these movement changes. You're going to have to move a bit more air in order to create that effective stretch. And the general strategy you want to incorporate when breathing to improve mobility is to silently breathe in through the nose. I'm talking super quiet, like this, because that strategy is going to keep the neck muscles relaxed, which will allow the rib cage to expand. And then the exhale is going to be soft and slow through the mouth, like so. That's going to ensure that you minimize increased superficial or big muscle group activity to complete the exhale, but it allows you to move more air so you can create a good stretching effect on the inhale and a contracting effect on the exhale. Let's go into two of my favorite drills to practice this breathing strategy. The setup is lying on your stomach. Take your hands, cross them over just like so. Put your forehead on your hands, so that way your face is not contacting the ground. In terms of the head positioning, you want to look slightly up like this. So you don't want to have your hands right on your nose or something like that. You really want it on the tip of your forehead. So that way the neck is up just a little bit. This is going to help open up the airway. From here, all you're going to do is you're going to apply just a little bit of inside elbow pressure into the ground. Just a little bit, like a 2 out of 10 effort. Then from this position right here, you're going to silently breathe in through the nose. Imagine that Michael Myers from the Halloween movies is close by. You got to do this exercise though, you don't want him to hear you. Did you hear it? Exactly. The exhale is going to be soft and slow through the mouth. Not really trying too hard. If you get it right, you'll start to feel a little bit of ab engagement or abdominal activity. Elbow pressure gently, silent in through the nose. Nice slow exhale. Once you've gotten the elbow pressure consistent, the silent inhale, the soft exhale, you can focus on getting the lower abs to almost come up towards the spine. It's not quite a draw-in maneuver, but what it more so is just making sure that that portion of the ab wall gets smaller first before the upper portion of the abs gets smaller. With that exercise, you're going to perform 5 sets of 5 slow breaths. Common errors that occur during that basic breathing sequence are if you're breathing in, you might breathe in forcefully through the nose, It'll sound like this. That's oftentimes associated with increased neck activity, and that's going to limit the degree that you're going to be moving airflow. Other issues occur during the exhalation. If it's too forceful or loud, you'll oftentimes get upper ab activity, and that will again limit some of the dynamic movement that we would expect happening in the ab wall. A lot of times if people push too hard through the arms, they'll end up crunching and rounding the upper back. Big keys for that specific move are slight elbow pressure, silent in through the nose, nice, slow, easy exhale softly through the mouth. Once you've got the prone breathing down pat, we can kick it up a notch by really focusing on making sure that the abdominal wall is getting smaller or moving closer towards the back. And then eventually the lower rib cage also moving backwards, getting smaller. For that, we're going to use the hook lying position to effectively drive that. And the nice thing about hook lying is it can assist the normal movement that we should see of the abdominal contents and airflow by pressing through the legs. You're going to lie on your back, feet completely flat. Your hands are going to be just below your belly button. From here, what you want to do is you want to make sure your feet are pointing straight, they're not toeing out. You're going to lift the front of the feet up so that way you got a little pressure through the heels. Wrap down so you get pressure through the base of the big toes, and you're going to push both your feet straight down, thinking about like getting a 2 out of 10 effort at the start. You'll feel the back of the legs working. As you push a little bit more firmly, you'll feel the glutes working. You want to make sure the abs stay relaxed during this piece. Now, holding that, here's where we can get wild and crazy with some of the breathing stuff. It's the same sequence as the prone breathing. So you're going to go silent in through your nose, but on the exhale, you want to think about the portion of the ab wall below the belly button, where your fingers are, about dropping down towards the ground without sucking in. It's going to look like this. If you zoom in closely, you're going to see, looking right here, silent in through the nose. Exhale. You'll see that portion drop down towards the ground. You also eventually see the rib cage come down. And just like the prone breathing, you're going to perform that exercise with 5 sets of 5 slow breaths. And that's how you can utilize breathing during exercise to increase your mobility gains. But I often get asked, Zach, is that how I should be breathing throughout the day? No. If you want to learn how you should breathe throughout the day, I would check out this video where I go into the benefits of nasal breathing and how to do it properly.